Hey, what's up, everybody? Michael here, and we just got an official release of Netflix in Hack for the PlayStation 5, and it just dropped right at 1 hour ago. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with this, Netflix in Hack is a userland exploit that we have for the PlayStation 5, and it does that by injecting custom JavaScript into the Netflix PS5 error screen by intercepting Netflix's request to localhost. So this acts as a bit of a man-in-the-middle attack where we can inject and execute our own JavaScript into the error screen. Now, there are some instructions down in here where it says download the image from the releases. And if we go over to the releases here, we can see that there are 3 files. One of them being a Netflix 200 gigabyte file, a Netflix 256 gigabyte file, and then a Netflix system backup.zip. Now, if you're confused, let me go ahead and explain that. This is for an M.2 drive, so if you do have a 2 terabyte M.2 drive, you could use this image, or if you have one for 256, then you could use this one, or alternatively, you can restore using a system backup. Now, let's look at this in a little bit more detail. Now, over here in the instructions, it does say for the M.2 drive, the setup is for Windows only, and they do recommend that you download this HDD raw copy tool. You connect your M.2 drive either using an M.2 enclosure or a spare M.2 slot that is on your motherboard. And then you unzip the file, and then you use the HDD raw copy tool to copy it back to your M.2 drive. Now, the second method is the system backup restore method, and this is the one that we're going to do today. And in this one, you would need to prepare your backup USB. So just to format a USB drive as exFAT or FAT32, and then unzip the system backup onto the formatted USB drive, and then you just restore the system. Now again, over here in the releases, if you go ahead and download this file right here, then it will contain all the necessary files to do a backup. And here exactly is the contents of that. You simply have a PS5 folder, and then export, backup, and there is the backup file. Now again, all you would need to do here is just get a USB drive and then copy PS5, this whole folder, to the root of it. Now, back over in the release notes here, there is some new instructions for setting up an internet connection here. So they do state to go ahead and go to Open Network Settings and then set up an internet connection. And then when it gets down to the option to set up a proxy, you do want to set a proxy. And here they have went ahead and provided an IP address as well as a port number that they have waiting for you. Now, those of you who might have been following my tweets earlier today probably saw this dialog box, and that is because there was some instructions before that did tell you how you could go ahead and run that locally, and they are still here. They're just moved down to the bottom. Basically, what you would need is you would need Python, but the Python version that you would need would be version 3.11. And then next up, you would need to run this pip install MITM proxy, and then clone the repo, and then run the MITM proxy with the provided script. Now, I will show you this, but we won't be doing this at the moment. So let's go ahead and begin by restoring our PlayStation 5. So I'm going to come over here to releases, and I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to go ahead and download the Netflix system backup.zip, and then extract that to a root of my USB drive. Okay, once that's finished, I'm going to go over to my PlayStation 5. And right here, I'm on my PlayStation 5, and I can go over to settings here. We can go to system, and then console information, and this is a 4.03 system. So we could go ahead and go back here, and we are going to scroll down to the option which states backup and restore. And so it is generally a good idea to back up your PlayStation 5 first. Again, just insert a USB drive and then take this backup option. I don't need to do that in this case, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the restore your PS5. And we are going to select right here the Netflix and hack. And I'm going to go ahead and press X on that. And we are going to restore. And we are going to select yes on this. Now again, this will erase all of the data that you already had on your PlayStation 5. Okay, and there it goes. It is restoring. Okay, so at this point, we do have the Netflix application here, but we are not ready to run it because we have not set up a proxy yet. So I need to go ahead and set up an internet connection. So we're going to go right here to set up an internet connection. I'm going to go ahead and enter the password for my Wi-Fi. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and go to options and then advanced settings. I'm going to scroll down here to proxy server. I'm going to select use, and then for the IP address 172.105.156.37, and then we're going to select done. And then for the port number here, that is going to be 42069. And we're going to go done and then OK here. And that is OK. We'll just press OK on that one. And then back again. And we should be able to run Netflix. And here we go. Let's see if anything happens on this one. Okay, there it goes. Wow, that was really quick. Remote JS loader. There we go. Very first time. I'm actually surprised that that worked so well and so fast. Okay, so from here I can go back to the home. And again, this is just waiting for the remote JS loader. So things such as debug settings are not chained into this at the current moment. But yeah, there it is. Netflix and hacks. Down at the bottom, it does have that the remote JS loader is listening on that 10.0.0.74 IP address. Let's just go ahead and switch back over to the PC and let's discuss how we could have done that manually. Okay, so back over on the main GitHub repo, if you do want to run this locally, you could come right here and then just select download zip. And then from there, I'm just going to go ahead and extract mine to a folder. And now we can go inside of that folder and we can just type in CMD here. Okay, so if you are using Windows, you are going to want to download Python 3.11.0. Now I've tried this with a lot of other versions and this is the one that you want. And inside of Windows, if you go to your apps, installed apps, and do a search for Python, this is all you should see, just Python 3.11. You could also have the Python launcher. These are okay, but you don't need anything else but just this one installed. Once you have that, you can come back over here and run the command pip install mitm proxy and then press return on that. And in this instance, I already had everything downloaded. And now I would just run the mitm proxy-s proxy.py. So we'll just go ahead and paste that in there. Okay, great. Now, if you see this, that means it is working properly. And of course, now all you would do would be just come back over to your settings, go to your network, and then go back to settings again, set up internet connection, and you would go to advanced settings. And then down here where it has your proxy server, you would instead just point to your local PC's IP address. And then the port number down here would be 8080. And again, all this information is just right here inside of the README. Anyways, some really cool and exciting things happening into the scene. I definitely will keep you all updated. It looks like we're going to get a Y2JB release probably tomorrow, so I'll be covering that. And yeah, there's a lot of cool things going on. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Michael, out!